Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Hot Sports Arena, where we continue to get closer to the people in the sporting arena. Today, on our show, we are having one of the best goalkeepers in the country and in the northern region. James Mohammed Ganiu is our guest today, who will be telling us all about himself, his future as a footballer. And of course, he's a student who just graduated not quite long from the University for Development Studies. He also won the best goalkeeper in the Ghana Premier League in February, March in the course of the season. So he'll be telling us a lot today on the show. Okay, so let me welcome James to the show. Thank you very much, James, for joining us. It's been a pleasure. Very, very tight season. You needed the last game to ensure that you help safeguard Karela United in the top flight. Okay, so Abdul, tell us your general overview of the just ended Ghana Premier League.
Well, the just ended Ghana Premier League wasn't that good, but I can say it's good because Karela United we maintain in the Ghana Premier League, and you could see that we had to struggle at the dying minute of the league before we could survive. We had to win our last match against Ganiu FC to maintain in the top flight. It wasn't easy. I think we have to do our homework very well. I think we lacked some fighting spirit in the just ended Ghana Premier League that brought us to that position. And I think it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. We did well. We've maintained in the top flight, and I think this season will be a good season for Karela United.
Can you take us through the background, how it all started up to this level?
Well, for me, as a footballer, I didn't start football as a goalkeeper. I started football as a player. I started goalkeeping back at primary school when we went to play inter-schools and our goalkeeper wasn't feeling well. So I volunteered to be the goalkeeper. And luckily, my teammates, we were in the same class again. So when we got back to our team, my classmate told our coach that this guy is a goalkeeper. He is doing very well. And thanks be to God, I had good seniors who were there. One of them is late, who motivated me to be a goalkeeper. He took me through all the basics of goalkeeping training, and today I can say Alhamdulillah, he has motivated me. Even though he is no more, I always pray for him. He has motivated me to be a good goalkeeper, and I can say I thank God for that.
Your narratives gives us the impression that you were inspired by something to be a professional footballer at this particular point in time. What do you think inspired you to be in football?
Well, people took football as just an exercise, but nowadays it's a very lucrative business, and everyone plays football to change his society and his family. My family is not that good, so I ventured into football to make things better for my society and my family. That's why I ventured into football, and I think football is the best that can change my family with the talent I'm having.
Can you tell us some of the highlights? Of course, the lows, points, the low points, and the high points in your footballing career so far.
First of all, I'll start with the low points. No, life as a footballer isn't that easy. Sometimes you plan ahead of what you want to do, but injuries are the worst enemy of a footballer. Well, I got injured when I was playing for Steadfast FC. That kept me out for over 2 months. And the position my club was good. But when I got the injury and I returned back, the position Steadfast wasn't that good. So it has been my worst and my low thinking as a football player. Well, to come with my highest expectation, well, this is the season I've played for a full season in Karela FC, and I've managed to win two man of the matches, and one best keeper of the month, and with 30 matches played and 11 clean sheets. Well, I think it's a good season for me because this is the first season I've delved into Premier League, and I think this is my one of the highest expectation I've come through.
Looking at the evolution of football, do you think that you have evolved so well in football as a player?
Well, I can say I have, but this is not my target. I'm expecting that next season people will hear more about Abdul Ganiu Mohammed because this season hasn't been that easy, battling relegation and all that stuff. But with the coming season, I think it will be better for us.
You spoke of the fact that your best moments, you know, came in when you won two Man of the Match awards. You won the best goalkeeper at the end of the season. How will you describe your final game against Midiema, which eventually earned you your status in the Premier League for next season?
With that game, I can still recall how we were struggling in the first half. We came all out to get a goal so that we could know that we are staying in the Ghana Premier League. But it wasn't that easy. Miss Diama SC, they gave us a tough game. It's just like someone telling you that he has died, he has gone to heaven, and he's coming back to tell you what is happening in heaven. Our game against Midiama is just like that. We were dead, and all of the sudden, like, thanks be to Allah, we got the goal and we came back from the dead. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It was a very difficult game, but it's all past and gone. We look into the future to see what will happen.
There have there have been a lot of setbacks. You've spoken about injuries, which definitely is an enemy to the game. What other setbacks do you think has been very tough for you as a player? Because pressure is one of them. Which other setbacks in football do you think that has been very difficult for you to handle?
Well, for me as a footballer, the setback that I'm having is my family. My family, in the sense that if your family is not happy about the job you are doing, always it will be a setback to you. But thank God, my family had an understanding of the job that I'm doing. Sometimes they will not see you for months. They will see you for 2 days. You have to spend the time you have to spend with your kids. You are always in the field. After field, you'll be tired. You need to rest. So it's all part of that setback. But it's all part of life. And blending sports with education too is not that quite easy. After training, you have to go to class. After class, you have to study. All that sort of things. It's not that easy, but we are managing.
Talking about family as a setback in football, has that in any way influenced you whatsoever in the games that you played as a footballer?
Well, yes, because I quite remember there was a game we were playing away, and in the evening I got a call that my child wasn't feeling well, and they had to rush her to the hospital. So when they rushed her to the hospital, there was some sort of challenges. And during the game the next day, I was still thinking about my child because they depend on me, and their health is very important. So I was thinking about it, but thank God that we had coaches who are more like fathers to us, who took me through that moment, because they've gone through that instances, so they had to take me through it, and I had to overcome it. And with that match, I did very well, and after the game, all things were back to normal.
There are moments at times when you are under severe pressure due to maybe performances, due to results you are not getting for the fans. Have you, as a player, faced criticisms, and how have you handled those criticisms when they come?
Well, I've faced a lot of criticisms, but this our job. Every blessed day, we have to face such criticisms. But it depends on your mental toughness. And as I said earlier, we have coaches who are more like parents to us. They advise us with such criticisms. So we take their advices and we overcome such criticisms.
Well, the season has come to an end. We are almost about starting a new season. What are the plans for, like, for James going into the new season?
Uh for the plans in the future, I can't best tell because Allah is the best judge. But as a player, I'm doing my own personal training, waiting for the team to resume pre-season, and we'll see what Allah will do for us. But I can assure my fans and supporters that they should expect more from me, because what I did this season is just the beginning of my career in the Ghana Premier League, and they should expect more from me this season.
Will you say you were quite impressed with your general performance? Yes, you won month man of the match or goalkeeper of the month award, two man of the match awards in the course of the season. Will you say generally you are quite satisfied with these achievements?
Well, for me, who has played a full season with the team, I can say I'm much satisfied with it, because it isn't easy for a goalkeeper to win man of the match, and it isn't easy for a goalkeeper among 18 Premier League keepers for you to be nominated as keeper of the month. It isn't easy, but with prayers and hard work, everything is possible. So I think this season has been good. And
Should we expect James to continue with Karela, or there are offers that are coming? Are the fans going to see you don the jerseys of Karela or a different club this season?
well, with this, I can't best say I'm still having a contract with Karela United, but we look to see what the future holds.
You have said a lot about your family, about your lifestyle, how you started it all. How has football shaped you as a person?
Well, football has shaped me as a person in the sense that when I'm moving in society, people recognize the work I'm doing. It has really shaped me, because you'll be moving in town or you're moving in community, you see people calling you, telling you that you are doing very well. And in society, if people appreciate the work that you are doing, I think it motivates you to do more of the work that you are doing. So I think I'm satisfied with that.
Well, let's talk about values, because in the game of football, it brings about, you travel to communities, you travel to areas that you have never been to. What values do you think this football has brought you?
I think football has is the best thing of socialization, and traveling to different venues, we have met different kinds of people, my colleague players, the community that we are and most especially the coaches who are coaching different clubs. Football make us to socialize a lot. I have one friend who I've never been with, but with through sports, he's now my best friend, and I can say Alhamdulillah, football has made me to be who I am, and to meet a lot of people in communities, and I think is good for we the young guys.
You spoke about education. You are a graduate, trying to look into an interest that will benefit you going forward. Playing football and education, how do you balance it? Because definitely you have an interest with the two, or possibly looking for other job opportunities. How do you balance this with football?
It isn't easy, but since we've taken sports to be our hobby, we have to balance it with education, and we can't do away with education too, because we can see most of our colleagues and the professionals who are in Europe, they will always go to school and they play football too. But it isn't easy, but we are managing with it. I just graduated with a degree and I'm pursuing my master's degree. So hopefully I think it will be best for me. But it takes seriousness for you to blend the two. It isn't easy, but it's just about determination that you can fulfill both activities.
You've played under several coaches coming to this particular level. How have you seen these coaches shaping you to be a better player? And going forward, how do you think that these coaches can still help you to be better?
Well, I've met a lot of coaches, and all of them has been of help to me in my journey. One coach who has coached me is the same coach who has motivated me to go to school, and I can't forget that coach. He has been a lot of help to not only me, but to my colleagues footballers, where he will advise you play football, but also take your education serious. And with them, they are not just our coaches. We've left our homes and we've come to the field. They are now our fathers. So they take us through a lot of moral talks. They advise you to do good and advise you not to do bad things. And it's a very good experience. They've all been of help. They've all been of help, and they've all transformed us. Me especially, the coaches I've met have transformed me a lot. Especially now our goalkeeper trainer, he has transformed me a lot.
You're talking about Coach Nasamu Yakubu.
Yes,
Of course, your thought about the one motivating you to be a coach and go to school as well. You're talking about Shaibu Ibrahim Tanko
Definitely,
of the University
definitely.
for Development Studies.
Definitely.
Many describe him as a mentor because of the qualities and capabilities that he has, both on and off the pitch. But let's look at the just ended season. There were moments you celebrate with your colleagues, in games. Tell us, what is your best celebration in the game?
For me, it's just to know I'm a goalkeeper. If I'm to celebrate the best moment, I have to leave my goal area and go and celebrate with the one and my colleagues who have scored the goal.
So if it is even at the other hand, you have to go and
I
join
have to
them.
go because scoring a goal isn't that easy. So if your colleague scores a goal, we should appreciate what he has done. So that's just my best moment of celebrating a goal.
Every player probably will wish that, whether he was still alive, whether the person is still or is alive or not, would have wished to have honored or played with such a star. Which legend in football will you have wished that you go to the pitch with to play?
I would say Maradona.
Wow.
Yes, because
You've heard so much about
I've
Maradona.
I've heard a lot about him, and I've watched some clips about how he used to play. And I think the reason why I said I'll be happy to have played with him is because he's a kind of person, he can score at any moment and he can do anything with football. So me being a goalkeeper, I would have wished if I just catch the ball, my target will be Maradona.
Wow.
If I just play the ball to him, I'll know the next moment is to celebrate a goal.
In your department as a goalkeeper, who inspires you the most? Probably going into a game, you think that, look, I've been watching this goalkeeper who has been so much tremendous, who has all the qualities. Which goalkeeper always inspires you?
With this, it's a very tricky question, but I'll answer this based on my point of view. For me, I'll choose Ikakaslas.
The Real Madrid legend.
Yes.
Wow.
And the reason being that when I started goalkeeping, with my height, people were discouraging me.
Okay.
But I got to realize that Casillas too was not that tall. But he could play in goal, and he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. So he motivated me.
Quite well. It's a general issue though, but right here in the north, people believe so much in superstitions, spiritual things in the game of football. Do you believe in that? And whether you have ever performed any spiritual activity that has earned your team a victory?
Well, sorry to delve into this. I'm a practicing Muslim. My superstition is before games, I'll just do 2 nafilas or 2 rak'ahs and I'm off to go.
Wow.
Because I believe there is no one unless Allah. And Allah is said that anytime you call upon him, he will answer you. So when I'm going into game, I'll just do 2 rak'ahs or 2 nafilas and I'm good to go. His protection will be on me.
Oh.
I'm good to go.
Okay. So these ways and means thing, you don't believe that in football?
I can't say I don't believe in it, but I can say what I believe in.
Okay.
And I believe in Allah. Whoever is going to do his ways and means will pass it through Allah. And we are all worshipping the same God. So I can't say I don't believe in it.
There have been situations where after games, children come to you, chanting your name, hugging you, with the possibility that they want to be like you in the future. You've seen goalkeepers who are below you coming to you to be inspired. What advice do you have for such people who come closer to you?
Well, first of all, the first advice I'll give to them is take your education serious. And the reason is football can disappoint at any moment, but education can never. If you have your certificate lying down and you are playing football, at any time you decide I'm not going to play football, you can pick your certificate and go and look for a job. You can be playing football and all of a sudden you can get a career-threatening injury. So if you don't do anything in addition to football, meaning your life is gone. Not dead, but you don't know what to do in future again. So I always advise them, first of all, if you want to be somebody in future, take your education serious. And also take your training very serious. It's not going to be easy, but if you are determined to do the two of it, you can. So that's the first advice I'll give to the younger guys who come to me. If you are not serious with your education, then I'll distance myself from you, because there's a lot of...
What about those who in one way or the other, for some reasons, do not have the foundation in education? Yes, they want to be have a career in football. What advice will you give to such personalities?
Well, I think in society there's something we can do apart from football.
Okay, so
even if you are not having the much resource to go into education, at least there's a lot of jobs
Okay.
that you can do,
Okay.
which will help you. I used to have one colleague when he's now a full carpenter master. When his father was sending him to his master, he told the master that he's playing football. So when it's time for him to go to training, the master should allow it. And the master did.
Okay.
When it's time for training, the master will even sack the guy to go to training. So I think that will help us. And I've been giving them advice on that.
Mr. Ganiu, it has been a pleasure having you on the show today. Thank you very much for coming, and we wish you the best of luck the next coming season.
Thank you very much.
Well, so that was Abdul Ganiu of Karela United fame. He didn't say he had a very wonderful season though, because of how difficult it was to help Karela stay in the top flight of Ghana football. Of course, he's urging his fans, for now, there are no offers, but he wishes to don the jersey of Karela United into the next season. The young upcoming ones who have always been embracing and coming closer to him, the advice is take your education very seriously, and of course, train very, very hard. Those who are not into education, look, there are so many opportunities out there. Don't just say football is going to be your job. We'll be back next time with another exclusive edition of the Sports Arena here on Hot Sports.